Today we're going to talk about gardening tools and how to choose them. These are my tools, so they're worn, but they're happy tools because I keep them clean and maintained. Many times people like to see the tools that I use, and I also see the tools that they use, and then we find out the ones that will work best for them. If you were just starting out and you didn't have much money, a long-handled shovel and a pruning saw and hand pruners would do a lot in your garden. When you're choosing the shovel, you may want to choose, if you look at the back of the shovel in the store, I like the back of the shovel to be a closed back shovel so that dirt doesn't compact into the shaft here. And I clean my tools after each use with water and a brush, and it's really easy to clean this because it's a closed back. With the saw right here, I really recommend that when you're buying tools, you buy them in person so that you can hold them and see what they're like in your hand instead of buying them online, because you may get one that doesn't work for you. This saw, I like them to have a small tip, a narrow tip, and this hand grip is wood. Let me show you another saw. This one has a plastic grip, and the teeth are a little different than this saw. And so depending on which plant I'm working on, I may use this one or I may use this one. Pruners, we'll do another video just on pruners, how to keep them clean, maintain them, and choose them. But for now, just knowing that these three products, these three gardening tools will get you a long way in your garden. The next tools that you could add to your collection of tools is a lopper. So this is like the hand pruner, but it has long handles, and you can buy shorter handled loppers or longer handled loppers. I have a pair of each. But what I'm looking for in a lopper is lightweight and also the tip. I like the tip to have, if this is a mouth, I like this bottom to be very skinny so that I can get inside of stems that are crowded together. When people buy really heavy loppers that have really big mouths thinking, oh, this will be great, I can really tackle everything in my garden, then they find out, hey, I can't get this tool inside of the stems. So watch for that. The next tool would be a weeding tool, and this is a great tool from OXO Tools, OXO. It's called the Weeder, and it has a fulcrum on it, this part right here, and then like a tongue of a snake here. It used to be called an asparagus fork weeder, but they've added this fulcrum in just the right place. I can weed for hours with this. Let me turn it on its side so you can see the fulcrum. That means when you're using it, you're not using your arm strength. You're using the fulcrum. So this is wonderful. The other good thing about their tools, the less parts on a tool, the better. This is one long shaft of metal with this nice handle applied. Most weeders, you'll see a third part right here, meaning the metal does not go all the way through, and after using that for a while, you might find that it breaks. Here are two tools that are so helpful. This is a military shovel, and I just love this shovel. It has been through a lot, and it just keeps on going. You can buy these in big box stores, but I find that the quality isn't as good as if you can find an old one in a military supply store. So when you get to be a hardcore gardener like me, you're going to be looking for this in the military store. This is so much better when you're using this, and it doesn't have a long handle. You'll see how great that is to have in the garden. The next tool is called a trowel. And I like this trowel, again, because it's an OXO tool, and their quality is so good. This is one piece of metal with the handle wrapped around it, so there's not that third piece to break, and it's got a long shaft, so that's always good. I like that these the tines right here are uneven. It just makes for really good cultivating of your soil. One of the most important things about buying tools, when you're buying tools, buy the best quality tools that you can afford. This is a hori-hori knife, and this is invaluable in the garden, especially when I am clearing tunnels to set traps. You'll see me use this in the other video about setting gopher traps. Hori-hori knife. This one is also by Oxo. I'm not sure if they sell it anymore, but it's really good quality. The next tool is I don't do a lot of shearing, but when I do shear, I really don't want to use a loud gas hedger. And if it's a small enough hedge, I'm using sheep shears. That's what these are. And let me show you how they... And they come in different sizes. This size is small, and they come in large. But if you're just doing small topiaries or small hedges, that's a good one for shearing small leafed plants. Here is a wonderful tool from Lee Valley, and it's a joint weeder, so you can get the weeds out of the joints of your concrete. You can either use the long end, and be careful because this is a really super sharp tool. You can use the long end or the short corner for getting weeds out of the joints of concrete. This little guy is invaluable to me. This is actually a quilting scissors for cutting thread, but I use it in the garden to do my deadheading of soft stem plants. This is how you hold the chrome snips. That goes in your ring finger. You put the ring finger through the hole, and then it allows you to turn over and you can snip away. And after you're used to using this for a while to deadhead your plants, it becomes like these are your fingers. Awesome tool, chrome snips. The last tools that I'll show you today are a short-handled rake. You're going to love this. You can get underneath shrubs and other plants really easily with a short-handled rake. And it's called a shrub rake. They make them in plastic, but mine is not plastic. I don't like the plastic one. I'll show you why. I want the tines to move. When I rake through a shrub, I want them to move so they don't damage the shrub like the plastic ones can, because the plastic is not movable. And last but certainly not least is this flat tined. This is not a pitchfork. Pitchforks have round tines. This is flat tined, really sturdy, heavy duty fork. And I use this a lot for digging up plants to transplant them. So you won't see me using the shovel very often in the garden. You'll see me using this. And so you want to get the one that has the best quality and feels good in your hand. Here are all the tools that we talked about today. We have some bonus tips at the end of this video so you can see me using a couple of these, the chrome snips and the joint weeder. All of these tools don't have to be purchased at one time. You can purchase them as you need them, and maybe you won't even use all the tools that I use, but that's what's great about gardening. You're an individual and you can do what you need to do. So thanks for taking the time to stop by and watch our video today. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Gardening Tutor, and tell your friends. Here's how I use the chrome snips to deadhead annual plants so I get more flowers. These spent flowers, they want to go to seed, and I don't want them to because I want more flowers. So you take out the stem and the flower, just like that. So you go in and snip it out. And here's another one. Follow it all the way down and snip it out right from the bottom. See how you can use those like your fingers? And then I would do that to all of these, and it will fake the annual plant out, and it'll make it think it needs to make more flowers because it hasn't gone to seed. This is how you use the joint weeding tool, the weeder for joints in concrete. You can use the sharp short end. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so great. Or if you really want to get a lot out of there, or if you're having a hard time, you can flip it over and just go right underneath. And then you can clean out all the soil. And you're done. Here's how to use the joint weeder.